Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Skyhaven. Now, we've got our new big boy runway going. We're waiting on a little bit more cash and then we'll continue to do some upgrades. I think let's leave our schedule intact at the moment. It's pretty good. I mean, we've got a few slots open that we can accommodate a few more things, but I'd rather we just kind of get everything up to speed a bit. So what else did we get here that's new? Ooh, the asphalt ramps. Now, so of course, the asphalt ramps are nice and big. Okay, so we'll leave it a little bit, get a little bit more cash coming in. I'm going to upgrade the other runway first, and then we'll see. And I'm kind of wondering, maybe this time around we do them in here. Airline didn't get all services. Let's quickly see how bad it is. Just a little bit of boarding left. Taking a little bit of extra time. So hopefully it's not a big problem across everything. It is in our 3-slot option here. So maybe one of the things that I'm kind of tempted to do is replace ultimately all of these with a new set in between our two runways that can be served from over here. I think if we've got enough room to expand all these kind of things in this general area. So I think that's going to be plenty good enough to deal with. Oh my goodness, research has stopped. Can you believe it? Okay. We've got these guys. If we go to construction, the asphalt ramps are done. Bids for construction, what does this actually do? Asphalt road, concrete taxiway. So it gives us a bit of a discount in some of these things, which is not too bad to have. But I think we're a little bit ahead of schedule here, so it's maybe not completely in our interest to be rushing that far ahead. Similarly over here, I don't necessarily think there's any benefit in really rushing ahead. We could do blue ice now because we're kind of needing to get that done. Or we could jump ahead into some of these additional vehicles, which may not be a bad idea considering we're now contemplating yet another set of new things. Maybe what I'll do is I'll make a start. Integrated weather monitoring, that's pretty cool too. High performance treatment plants, improved water, advanced fueling technology. There's a lot of stuff here that I'd like to have. Let's grab this guy. I don't know why. It's probably just a further enhancement of what we've got already. So let's grab that guy. So at least there's some research going on. We could land something if we wanted to. I want to keep pushing our time forward a little bit to see about getting this runway. Getting up to 1 million and then doing this runway. We're pretty close to doing that. Pretty keen on just doing that upgrade there. So we had a little bit of penalties because someone didn't get quite their services in time. So there we go, back at 1 million. Another round of penalties, actually. It's a bit of an interesting one. We could land this guy. It's not major, but let's since we got the slot, let's land it. Okay, I think that's the situation. Let us go ahead and close this runway. So get it, whatever is underway there. Now, I don't think, how would we go about doing this? I don't think we're going to be able to upgrade it as it is. Could we? I don't think we can move it either. So if we hit the upgrade button, yeah, we're not in a position where we can actually go ahead and do that. So what I might do, I might have to trim all of this stuff back. So what we'll do, we'll do this. Right, we'll close out all of these edges here. Presumably, all of that is going to be not too much of a problem. So we'll do that, right? Then we'll Close that and get rid of that. I want to get rid of these guys are so painful to deal with. So I'd rather just get rid of them. Okay, now, presumably now we can make an upgrade here. So let's go and grab our upgrade at 200 in cost. Yeah, I'm not opposed to slotting it down a little bit. And we want to make sure to push it all the way to the very edge. Actually, do we take it down all the way to the edge on this side as well? So we've got two parallel runways, and I'm kind of thinking we definitely don't, we want them to drive down that way for departure. So let's do this. Let's do that one. Okay. Now we need to grab ourselves our upgraded runway access points. So we'll do one down here to get in for departure. What we'll do is we'll clear this guy out and get another up all the way edgewise over here. Oh, for some reason that's not quite working. I wonder why. It's not liking what it's seeing over here. So anyway, we may have to get a little creative in terms of getting this one to fit in. Similarly, I'm pretty keen on getting some doubles going on. So let's move things along a little quicker, because once we get that guy out of the way, yeah. Let's trim that back there. Trim this back a little bit over here, and then let's get our taxiway sorted out. So taxiways are pretty expensive, so we'll do that as a taxiway. And I think what we'll do, go up to about there, and then we'll trim that in. So at least we've got an access point now. We should be able to taxi around this a little bit more, which we might just do. Anyway, let's just get our other bits and pieces in. So we do need to get the other asphalt runway exit in place. So definitely want to add one over here. And then I am thinking the other one is over. Ooh, actually, hang on. Let's just try and get these things aligned. So really, I'm thinking this general location right here. And unfortunately, we have no way of really aligning it properly. I think that's it. So let's do that. Okay. That should be pretty reasonable. So let's get our taxiway connected. Oh, that's reasonably straight, actually. Yeah, okay. If we do this, can we? Yeah, it does not want to do that. So let's do this kind of operation then instead. Oh, come on. There we go. That seems pretty reasonable. Now, of course, what we need to do is take that down there and there. There we go. A pretty expensive little operation here. Now, the one thing I want to do is let's go back to the concrete taxiway. Oh, yeah. Ooh. Yeah, this is not, I mean, this is temporary, which is why we're having a bit of problem here. This is actually inbound, outbound. Can we, I'm not sure we're going to get these to tie back in unless we clear out these roads, which, to be honest, I think we can do, because they're not really being used anymore, I think. Because we're not operating in this broad area. anymore. I think it's going to be okay. So let's just do that. We'd like to tie these guys up. We'll have to clear that one out. Yeah, these things are painfully difficult to deal with. Can't run through there. So let's just do that, that, and that as a bit of a temporary stopgap measure. I'm kind of wondering whether we do. Okay, so the problem here is, okay, actually I think that's the way we're gonna deal with that for the time being. It's a bit of a convoluted little mess at the moment, to say the least, but let's switch this guy back on for operation and get back into the swing of things. Now things should be working again, and look at these guys running around. Okay, anyway, I think it was just a bit of a pathing. Oh yeah, it's purely a pathing issue. So anyway, that should be sorted out. Now we can start planning the asphalt ones. And again, we're going to be a little bit far away at this stage, but I'd rather get us sorted with that, because I might actually double up on this side too. Let's clear out some of these. Look at that. I'm loving what we're seeing with regards to the money. It's coming back in so quickly. So let's just clear out some of this stuff so it's not in our way as we decide to go into our better operation. Excellent. There we go. That's pretty cool. Heading into nighttime now. Money is back up in a reasonable fashion. We've got some really good runways going on here. I might rejig these lines just a tad. And to be honest, I think what I want to do, where is that guy? Let's just have a look. It's again in this first section here. So we just run out unloading waste. That might be a bit of a problem. Let's have a quick look at what we're doing with regards to waste management. Cleaning services, right? Staying on parking. Is that the one? Cleaning services, or is waste a different cleaning? Oh, it might be this guy. No one's actually doing anything. So who's supposed to be doing the cleaning there, or the waste? Do we have a waste facility? Well, here we go. That's the waste facility. Okay. So we are out of slots because this is serving everybody. Let's grab an extra couple of vehicles here. We should be able to buy at least one more. Let's just get one more to try and support that. So that's obviously where some of our issues are coming from. Yeah, I don't want that, for instance. So presumably we should be not having that access point there. But anyway, I think we're going to do something. We're going to let this all run while we plan out what a proper setup would be. So what do we have in between those? Geez, it's difficult to say. So it's like seven in between. So I'm assuming it's like this, right? 7 in between. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in between, approximately. There we go. So something like that. I think I want to do that so we can double up with what we're basically saying. Right? I just want to plan that out. So this is kind of going to be the center point. We could move these guys over a little bit, but I think we're kind of all okay at this point. I honestly don't want these guys to be running the way they're running. But anyway, that's fine. Yeah, some of these maneuvers are just not quite right. But we'll close some of that off. At airports, you've got a lot of these kind of crossing points generally because you want that operational flexibility. So that's really where this comes from. Okay, how's our operation doing? I think everything else is running. Resource resupply is happening and all kinds of things. We're going to get a big chunk of cargo being delivered or not delivered in 10 minutes time. Yeah. Okay, that's the end of the day. A lot of construction costs, of course, 2 million. But in spite of that, we've only gone down by like 500 million in terms of 500,000 in terms of of things. Our commercial is coming up quite nicely, up almost 100,000 just on commercial alone, which is good. Good. Yeah, I thought as much that wouldn't really happen. Okay, now let's start planning out our asphalt ramps just a little bit. Okay, get me the asphalt ramp. So it's these guys, right? So this time I might space them a little bit better. So if we were to say, right, running it like this, I think we should have like 4 rows operating in here. So I'm going to try and, hang on, can we, in terms of snapping, right, we could do like a foot. Oh, that's the one. That's the one. I like the 40-meter snapping here. Let's give ourselves a little bit of room on that side. And let's see. So if we do one here, and I should hold shift. Yeah, I like that. So we'll give ourselves a little bit more room. So we'll do something like that. They're not too pricey, so I can go ahead and build. Now, what we'd like to do is not squeeze it in. So let's see. If we wanted to do a little bit of taxiway. Okay, so if we wanted then a 20-meter grid for the taxiway, we really can't do that. So what I'll do is I'll taxiway over there. And then we'll go back and find our asphalt ramp again. I just want to measure the whole thing out a little bit. Again, what are we really going to have? Honestly, I want them to be like equally spaced, right? So really, maybe if I say, well, it has to snap, doesn't it? If we do that. Honestly, okay, hang on. You know what I'm going to do? Let's trim that out so it's like it's back up there. And presumably, yes, there we go. So it's trying to snap to that thing, which kind of makes a bit of a mess. So there we go. So now we've got a few in there. But yeah, now we don't have enough room. This is the issue now. Now we don't actually have enough room in between our runways to do a kind of a service in that kind of space. I mean, I'm happy to run this up all the way up there and just do a bit of a shorter one on this side. But so that really means that we need to close this down and move it over. So that means moving it over there, moving it back over a little bit closer, but it just doesn't want to do that. You know what? This doesn't actually need to be 2 if we're going to run it this way. Okay. So if we were to do this, right? Let's do that. Let's bring it all closer a little bit. No. Cancel that. I didn't really want to do that. What I want to do is move you out of the way and then bring you closer. I don't necessarily want us to get any closer in terms of getting right on top of each other. Yeah, something like that is about right. So we'll do that. I will clear out this guy. We will switch off these 2 and move them out of the way. We'll have to renumber these guys as well to get a bit of a naming convention going on. I think that is appropriate. So let's get this one in place. Move the other one over. We'll double check that we can do something there. Now, can we? Well, we've got them here already. So let's flip it around. If we could do, actually, we need a little bit more room. So if we did that, we can't get another. We can't get another unless, like, hang on, let's try. If we were to bring that guy back and we flipped it around, now that's too close. We would like something like that, to be honest. So it's just a little bit too tight. But on the other hand, hang on, we might have a little bit more room over here. So sorry, today we're trying to do things a little bit more trying to get it done a little bit better. So let's do that. Presumably we can tie that guy in. Okay, and then let's trim this back, give ourselves some more room. And then are we, if I were to remove this, it's pretty pricey to do all of these things. Don't do that. Please don't do that. If we went back to, like, say 20, oh yeah. We did a 20 here. Let's do up to there. Get that tied in. And then we'll kind of do a bit of a messing around with this thing to kind of keep that going. That's not too bad. Let's see if that helps us out a little. We'll get this taxiway to just tie in over there for the time being, right? So these guys will be on their way out. This is on their way in, presumably. Presumably that's on their way in. Okay, so hopefully that's okay. Now, moving these things yet again. We want to give ourselves a little bit of room. Okay. I think that's okay. So if we do that, and then we move this guy forward, let's just go back to the 40 meters in this instance. Yeah. Oh, hang on. We need to be... So that's the idea. And then we move this guy over, like so. And then that's the idea. That seems pretty reasonable. And then we move this guy over. That's the idea. Okay, I think it's not, maybe not perfectly spaced, but I think that's a reasonable set of spacing here. So let's do our kind of asphalt taxiway starting points, and please don't do the snapping thing. Can I just say remove snapping altogether? It honestly just doesn't want to run it through there. So if we were to do that, it doesn't want to work. It honestly, it's just too close. Alternatively, we'll have to do that, all right? So if I were to do that, right, if we were to move this out of the way and then move it on top of it, we can't make that work. So what is the closest thing so that was what I had in mind, right? Do that, get our taxiway to run through there, and of course it just doesn't do it. Of course it just doesn't do it. This is the very, very painful component of this game. So if we were to then move this guy out and then move it back by like one slot, and it's maybe just get the 20 meter going. That's the one. Yeah, actually we do need the 40 meter. So that's where we were. So that's the extra one. So if we were to do this, it just feels enormous. And now we can't snap to that. So now we'll have to do the 20 meter snap and snap it in the middle there. Wow. Okay, leave that be. So now we can kind of see. We won't, now it obviously won't fit. Wow. That is painful. It just feels like I need to get this thing to work. It feels like I need to get this thing to work. So we can't go any closer on this side. That's the absolute maximum. I think that's definitely it. This is perfectly spaced. This is not going to work as is. So if we were to say, let's move it over. So what are we looking at in between those two then? We're looking at one. So what are we, hang on. Let's just move that out of the way and then say we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is it 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 20-meter grids. So 8 20-meter grids means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's going to have to be over here somewhere. That is crazy. It won't fit with the other one. It just won't fit with the other one. Let's have a look. Can we... Oh, we could do this. Let's try this. Though, if we do that, right, if we were to run it like that, or even like this, actually, I just don't quite like these stands to do this, really. 4, 4, 4. It's going to be, I think it's going to be a tad messy if we do it this way. So, but presumably, if we were to do something like this, we'll get ourselves a little bit more room, right? So do that, grab this guy, moving it around, move it over there, then bring it in, move it down. The problem with this is how the hell do we get the service vehicles to get here? So if we do that, right, that seems reasonable, right? So if we were to do this, then we end up with some funny business over here, which is just not, that's just not going to work. That's just not going to work. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's not going to work. I mean, it looks cool, but for crying out loud, that's just not a reasonable way of doing it. If we were, okay, so there we could actually, okay, let's get onto that slot there. So we'll go directly on there, okay? Then we'll clear this one out and we'll get it to go, nope, like there. If we were to do that, right, can we move this guy in there is the question. We can. Okay, now it's starting to look a little bit different because now we're going to end up with a very different set. Okay, I think that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. And then the only question is we probably need to move it back again. So guys, a lot of moving of stands. I do apologize, but I don't want, I mean, it's a lack of planning on some of the previous ones that's given us the hand that we're being dealt. So what I would like to do is if we move this now again, there's also a little bit of room there. Let's do that. So we'll go with this one here. I'll grab that maneuver and we'll grab this guy and we'll move that one in there. Okay. Now, the question is now, do we just contemplate doing the same thing on this side? I think it is what we're going to do. We're just going to go about doing that. Okay. And really, we have the extra room. We have the extra room. The only issue, of course, is that now we're not, and of course, there's one that's not going to work, right? Of course, we're going to find ourselves with one of these guys that just does not want to work. Okay, move that out. Put him it again. See, this is this thing that frustrates me so much about this game. It shouldn't be this difficult to get these guys to work together. And presumably, if we even, I mean, it's wanting to snap to a situation where it really just can't, right? If we were to do this, right, that will work, but at least we do need this one to actually work. I don't need them to go straight next to each other, I think. But I do need this thing to just get it out of the way. Maybe it's because that one was too much in the way there. Now, if we bring it closer here, It does not want to. My goodness. It feels wrong. I can't do free step. Free step will be very painful ultimately. Oh man, this is just not the way. Okay, so what we could do, let's move this one out. Let's get these deleted and that one deleted. This one, let's try if we do this one a little bit further away, right, and we get this guy to come back down. If we go with a 20-meter step, it's really not, it doesn't want to, huh? Oh, there it is. There it is. That's the one. Okay, let's do that. Now, if we do that, okay, I'm not opposed. Can we get this to work now? We can. There we go. That's going to be it. That is our setup, guys. It's taken me half an hour to get to a point where we just got this stuff to reasonably work. Okay. So that's the situation. Let's run the game a little bit. I'm going to end the episode soon, but that's the template. That is the template. We'll get these guys to kind of just do their pathing, get their stuff going on. We'll get some money coming in, but really that is going to be the template. And what we can do is we could even run things a little bit differently in terms of the taxiways. We'll get to the ideas with the taxiway as we go. I'm kind of thinking something like maybe a one-way loop to serve these guys, and then maybe a one-way loop to serve those guys. Maybe just this one and that one. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. Would be good if we can really do a proper one-way operation, but I'm not convinced we can. But maybe we can. Maybe we can. We'll have a bit of a look and play around to see if there is an option for us. And then we'll expand these out. As we get a bit more money, we'll expand them out. We actually may do that just a tad to see what it kind of looks like in terms of operation. We've got a bit of money now. I know we're starting to see a little bit of issues here. Yeah, it's always on these three. I think it's got to do with the passenger services potentially there. But anyway, oh, actually, it's not passenger services. This is cargo. Right, so this is cargo. So maybe we're doing a little bit hastily on some of these turnaround times. That's fine. Yes, okay, I know it's a lot doing that now. Actually, it's a lot that's just short, and that's basically what's happening. So we're like 10, 15 minutes short of the time that we need to actually get the servicing done, and that's kind of where this is coming in. Okay, well, let's jot out a few more of these guys. Got the money, so let's do that. So if we hold shift, right? So what I'm going to do is just make sure that we're what's our stepping stone? Is that so? That's the 20-meter stepping stone. So I'm thinking this, right? There and there. So that actually does work. Okay. Now what I want to also test while we're at it is, can I put this back in? I can. Can I also get these to work? And it seems like no, that is asphalt road, right? Just doesn't want to. If we oh, it's the snapping thing. It's because we're doing the 20-meter grid. So that seems reasonable. Could we potentially tie that in over here? So maybe the question is, instead, we trim this back out. Oh, but now we're going to have issues here. Switch that off, move it around over there. Going to have to move this guy, switch it off, move this guy out of the way. Okay, trim back whatever we built over here. Now, I want to try and give a little bit of extra room in here now. So this time around, we're not doing that. Maybe we're doing this. let's have a quick look. If we do that, can we squeeze something in the middle? We cannot. So at the very least, we're going to do 40 meters in between, right? Oh, crap. Cancel that. Get rid of this thing. It's a bit of a tedious, painful process, but I want to get this just right, especially if we're going to end it off like this. So actually, maybe, no, we can't do that. So this is the one, 40 meters in between, right? So if we do that, presumably this will work, no problem, and that'll work. Okay, so if we wanted to do this, that is the setup that we're going to have to go after. So let's do that. Let's get the extra one in there. I'm happy to report that it's snapping pretty nicely, and we can get that pretty straight. Okay, now let's quickly see how many we can squeeze into this setup. So we're going to go with 40 in between. So that's it. So there, there, there. 40. Yeah, don't make the mistake. Double check it at the end as well. And there. How many do we have here now? 6, 7. Shall we go for 8, or is 8? How many do we have now? We've got 8. We've got 7 now. So the question is, do we actually need to go all the way? Maybe the idea is just that it's not actually required to do as many. Maybe 6 is the better number for us to deal with. So if we do that, then we'll just have our 6 going through. So what I might do is I might just throw all of these in, just to see how that looks. So 6 is a pretty nice number. 6, 12, 24 stands, I think is pretty reasonable. And it gives us a little bit of room for expansion this way, or potentially this way if we wanted to. It's quite easy for us to just move these taxiways and expand into this direction, though that'll be getting a little bit further away from what we're after. So I'm thinking this kind of setup might be the setup for us. So let's see about duplicating that here. 40, 40. Flip it around. This is in line, right? Yeah, it's perfectly aligned. And I'm not... Flip it around like so. There we go. So let's quickly do the last few, and then I'll conclude the episode. It's been a long one and a bit of a tedious one, to say the least, really. There we go. I'm not too fond of where that's ending up, but I'm not going to be too bothered by that. So there we go. That is our setup. That is our setup. And the most challenging bit is probably going to be this guy straight down the middle. And then getting these guys to tie in properly. At the moment, not looking like it's being too pedantic about it. It's looking to be working. So maybe it's just about playing with that snapping a lot and getting that under the belt. So there we go. That's pretty good. We can really look at how our taxiway works in the next episode. I'm going to basically leave it here, but fill in these easy sections for us. So we have a bit of a clue. So that's just outbound, so that's okay. We don't want that to necessarily extend in the opposite direction at all. So that's okay. We'll sort out how we get access to this in the next episode, but really that seems to be okay. And what I'm kind of tempted on doing is running our service vehicles up the middle here, and then through that way, through there. I don't know. We can just run it through all those. We really don't need this. And it's a little bit of a backup plan if we needed to move things around a little bit in the future. Okay, guys, I'm going to end it there. If you've enjoyed it, though tedious it might have been, what do you think of this new layout? Leave me some comments down below to tell me whether you think this works. I think, to me, it kind of looks reasonable. We'll replace all of that and move everybody over here, but I think that looks pretty good, to say the least. Okay, guys, I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.